I'm Terry Kennedy. We're at the Richlands Centre in Brisbane. My co-commentator, Jeanette Baker. Well, round two, a lot more important now.
It definitely is. We're getting down to the money part of the game, and every pin will count.
It's the Northern Territory up against New South Wales. Here's how the Blues line up. Their #1 bowler, Andrew Frawley. He's a power bowler from Condell Park. Years bowling 14, current average 203. The lady in the team, 22-year-old, Sharon McLeish. And third up, Fred Alsop. Career earnings, $80,000, current average 208.
And in the Northern Territory team, they're headed up by Captain Angelo Maglieri, 22 years of age from Darwin, followed by Adeline Carnegie, 32 years of age, high score of 250. And Michael Hoey, 1993 winner of the Australian singles, high score of 290.
As Jeanette said, Michael Hoey, really someone to keep an eye on for this Northern Territory team. A young player, only 24, trying to make the raise to the grade now. Angelo Maglieri, first up for the Northern Territory. Only 22 years of age, based in Darwin, trying to open up, get his team away to a good start. Not quite what he was looking for, Jeanette.
No, he gave it a fair amount of room, hoping that if anything it would just be a trusting shot. But again, that muscle that he releases the ball with, and when it hits, leaving him the 210 split. Now,
different ball, trying to make the very difficult split. Can't do it, so they leave that frame open, the Northern Territory. Not the start they needed from the skipper.
No, and particularly against a team with the experience of New South Wales. Andrew Frawley, their lead bowler, setting himself up.
Power player, Andrew Frawley. Turns, and began with a strike. It stood for a while, the 10-pin, and then eventually crumbled.
Well, it didn't look like a strike. When he hit, as we see here, good strong swing, sends the ball almost out to the gutter, back it comes, and look at that pin cross the deck to take out the 10-pin. That's one way of getting rid of it.
They don't draw diagrams either, do they?
No.
Adeline Carnegie now. The Northern Territory missing the head pin and leaving herself with a fair bit of work to do.
That's a terrible mess to be faced with early in the game. It's a washout plus the 7-pin, so there's a lot of cover that the ball has to do to try and convert this. She'll give herself plenty of angle to get across that head pin and down the line to the 7-pin, but be aiming to get that kick back onto the corner right-hand pin.
The spare in the offering. What a big ball from Adeline Carnegie. A great spare she's picked up for the Northern Territory.
As we see, getting that angle on the head pin, going down and straight out of the textbook. Perfect conversion.
Sharon McLeish now up for New South Wales. She's been bowling for 10 years. What sort of start can she make? Round 2 game.
Well, she lost her balance at the foul line then, so by doing so, didn't quite get the rotation on the ball. As we see, oops, pulls herself off balance, creates a little bit more skid on the ball, just touching the head pin and leaving the 3 on the right-hand side.
McLeish trying to tidy up the frame. She does so in fine fashion.
Good cover, good cover. As we see here, much stronger at the foul line, standing there, going across, covering the spare, no problems. And now Michael Hoey, and this guy likes to cover the boards with the ball. He likes to send it out to the right and watch it come back.
Exactly what he's done, and he's done it for a strike. They all go tumbling down. Michael Hoey.
Absolutely. He's gone from the centre of the lane out to the right-hand side, coming back and getting the mix. All 10 pins down. As we see Fred Alsop now.
He's the captain of this New South Wales side. He won the Coke here in 1991 when it was a singles event. Now it's a teams event, and he's trying to guide New South Wales home. Fred Alsop.
Fractionally soft that time. A little bit light on the head pin, not quite getting the mix. As we see, Fred's technique, good, solid stuff, light. He was hoping by his reaction that the ball was going to come on a little bit further, actually hook a little bit more towards the pins, and it didn't. So he's going for the spare of the 3-6 on the right-hand side.
He tidies up the 3-6. No troubles.
And there we have the New South Wales closed every frame. Fred converting his spare, whereas NT have opened one frame.
And after 3 frames, the Northern Territory, they trail New South Wales by 9.
Hi, this is Dick Ritker with information on the basic stance for 10-pin bowling. We have positioned the feet on the floor to show there's a slight separation, a board or two, between the feet. Also a separation from front to back. I'm going to position myself on these feet and continue with the stance. A slight flex at the knees is needed. Lean forward slightly from the waist. The ball is held about waist high and in line with the bowling shoulder. The shoulder and ball are aimed towards the target, the shoulders at right angles to the target, and the eyes focused on your target. Now you're ready to begin.
Northern Territory doing battle against New South Wales, and at the moment, the top of the 4th frame, the Blues lead by 9 pins. Angelo Maglieri up for Northern Territory, looking to strike back with his second chance.
One ball hit,
and he...
Whoa!
Yes, he does. Got the late one to drop. So
He asked the ball to hit, and it hit. It possibly looked like it was going to hit too strong. He's really given that ball heaps. Come high, looked like a split, but a pin's rolled around on the deck, and he's had the luck go his way. That gives a double to Northern Territory and putting the pressure back on New South Wales.
The form of Andrew Frawley. That's not coming back. He's left himself.
That's a cranker's washout, as they call it. When the guys cover as much boards on the lane as what Andrew does, what happens is when it gets down the back end, it moves very, very sharp when it hits the pins, and therefore a very nasty mess.
5 left. Can he clean them up?
Yes!
So now the experience of Andrew Frawley coming to the floor.
All the trick shots in this game. Magnificent conversion. As you see, using the harder case ball straight at those pins and getting the desired result. As Adeline gets up there, steadies herself, gets low.
Yes! Strike by Adeline after making that magnificent spare.
That's a turkey for the Northern Territory. 3 strikes in a row as we see this shot, the ball going down the lane, sitting nice in front of the pocket, and she knew it was. Excitement.
What a big boost in confidence for the Northern Territory team.
Wow.
As you said, the turkey, which is 3 strikes in a row. Now, Sharon McLeish. She replied.
Oh, pins rolling on the deck, but not quite long enough to take out those 2 that she left there. And this format is so difficult to play when it's 5 shots before you have your next shot. It takes a lot of concentration and a lot out of you to wait so long in between shots and changing lanes at the same time. Sharon going for a spare and a good cover. Left-handers don't like that left-hand corner, the same as right-handers don't like the right-hand corner, and it's a big sigh of relief sometimes when you go for the spare, because as you see, it's almost off the lane and it comes back. And now Michael Hoey up to get the 4th strike in a row for the NT.
What a performance this would be by the Northern Territory team.
He's crossed.
It's wobbling. It won't drop though. It's still wobbling.
He tried. He gave it a shot. Leaving that single pin on the right-hand side. As we see here, perhaps a fraction inside of what his target is. Crossing over. The pin gets touched, but decides not to go over.
Hoey now to tidy up the frame. Does it well.
Good job, bud.
Michael Hoey. Words of encouragement from the team and the captain.
Do you think Northern Territory are getting a bit of a taste of...
I think they like this business.
They seem to be a bit more aggressive since they've got those couple of strikes. Now it's up to Fred Alsop as the captain of New South Wales to lead the way for his team to fight back. As we watch this stylist just swing the ball.
Cross it.
It's crossed.
Fair enough now.
Fractionally soft though, fractionally soft. When it crosses over and the ball's hooking at the end, it tends to deflect. But look at that magnificent knee bend, good extension by Fred. It crosses over and leaves the 2 pins in the middle of the lane.
So New South Wales still behind the 8 ball at the moment.
The game's never over until the 10th frame is bowled.
Exactly, we're only up to the 6th.
Exactly.
Ball.
Yes, he got that one to hook.
Cleans them up.
Nice and clean.
Shuts the frame out. With the Northern Territory, they leading by 19. So the Northern Territory, they're on target for an upset victory here over New South Wales in the Coca Cola 10-pin bowling classic at the Richlands Centre here in Brisbane. Angelo Maglieri, he's led well from the front.
He's done very well. He's settled in, got his line, giving it room. Watch his comeback. Yes!
Another strike to Angelo Maglieri. The Northern Territory, now they're looking the goods.
They are looking strong. When your confidence is up, that's worth 10 pins per game, and that's the difference between a single pin and a strike, as we saw there.
Pressure just starting to mount now on Andrew Frawley, the lead bowler for New South Wales. Coming back,
yes,
and he replies with another strike.
He wasn't sure whether to ride that shot or not. He was hoping that he'd send it out far enough to the right, but look at where that ball's come back from. Almost from the back of Burke, and all 10 go down.
Now the unlikely hero of this game, Adeline Carnegie. Another great ball.
Yes!
Another strike. 2 in a row by Adeline Carnegie. Plus one of the best saves you were likely to see early.
She's riding it. She knows there's a chance. And yes, pulls the string on that last pin. That's another double. NT are just getting further and further in front here. Sharon needs 1 strike here.
Crowd going.
Yes!
She's done it. Across the line.
Not textbook, but she did cross over to the New York side, or the right-hand side of the head pin for lefties. But as we see here, pulled herself off balance. Yes, crossed over and tucked in the 4 pin. How important is that balance of the foul line?
That is going to give New South Wales just that sniff now. Is now Michael Hoey. Up for the Northern Territory.
Crosses. Oh, tells it to get over. But no, leaving the single pin, the 9 pin. So we see it there, crossing over, hooking that bit too much at the end. He changes equipment, goes to a harder case ball to shoot the spare, so the ball will go straighter, and it's all right. It's covered. Good spare there. NT only opening 1 frame to date in the 9, after 9 frames bowled. New South Wales on a double. Their captain, Fred Alsop, in the base frame of this exciting game, needs 1 more strike.
So his team members have put a bit of pressure on Fred. And still, that's why he's in this team. He can well and truly handle that. He started away left, brought it back for another strike. Up goes Fred, and up go the Blues.
The rest of the team stand up and ride that ball in as we see it going down, hitting light, getting the mix. Fred's ridden that ball a couple of lanes away as we see New South Wales.
We'll be back with the exciting conclusion of this match straight after a break.
in the Coca Cola 10-Pin Bowling Classic will receive a check for $15,000, plus entry into the $1 Million High Roller Tournament in Las Vegas, staying at the Gold Coast Hotel and Casino, flying Qantas, courtesy of the Australian 10-Pin Bowling Congress.
We have a real cliffhanger on our hands at the moment. The Northern Territory up against New South Wales. Probably online for the biggest upset of this championship so far. It's been a super effort from them.
Oh, great job by them. Nothing to lose, everything to gain. But the 10th frame is what they're on to now.
Maglieri. Get up, get up.
Get up, yes!
The strike. No pressure for Angelo Maglieri.
He looks like he just does it all day, doesn't he? He comes back so cool. All that effort in there, out to the gut, brings it up.
He always knew it was good.
Wow. That's the part of feeling bowling, is to be able to, when you release that ball, you can feel when it's a good shot. If it doesn't feel right, you just start praying from there on in that something happens down there, that it crosses over or holds up as he goes with the second in the 10th. Has he given it enough room? It's crossing. Oh.
Still, he's earned the bonus ball.
Absolutely. He's got a 9 count. He converts this spare and NT are looking at a 217 game. As he changes, like we're seeing most of the bowlers do, changing to the harder equipment to shoot the right-hand side so the ball will go straighter. Using all the lane. Good cover. Great score from Northern Territory then. 217.
Tidies it up like a businessman would. So, Andrew Frawley now will come up for New South Wales.
He was put in this position to do this job, and that is to be able to be there when they need him to be there.
He needs a strike first up.
Gives it plenty of room. Ooh! Just that fraction wide. Didn't quite come back enough for him. And in consequence, left with those 2 pins. Big high backswing, plenty of room. Andrew's waiting for the ball to come back, but it wasn't to be that time. So now, conversion of a spare here. No problem. And this is a 10-pin margin. As we see this conversion, the ball straightened out, as he wanted it to. Because you don't need technique on spares, you just need accuracy.
Can he finish with the strike? Rolling.
Overcorrection that time, but great score. New South Wales finishing with 204. NT with the 217. What an upset is that?
It is, and it's great for this championship. Northern Territory came here as rank underdogs, and now to come out and beat one of the powers of 10-pin bowling, New South Wales, it's a great confidence boost for the Northern Territory, because they were very nervous before this championship began.
As we see Andrew Frawley bowl that last ball, really decided to cup the wrist and turn it, as we see there, very low, and gets too much hook on that bonus shot. Final score that game, Northern Territory 217 to New South Wales 204.
A 13-point margin, a great win by Northern Territory. Jeanette and myself will be back next week with more action from the Coca-Cola 10-Pin Classic.